The moment that you notice someone else not enjoying your high-flying disc, you join them on theirs. You just have to make where everybody else is in relationship to their disc irrelevant to yours, because when you stick your nose in where it doesn't belong, you join them in the vibration, and that's where your resentment comes from. It's also where you're believing that you need to control their experience comes from. If you were flying up here with me, I'd be happy, but you're not flying up here with me, so now I've had to come down here where you are.
Or just to share it. Like, I'm joyful, so I want to share it.
But here's the thing. If they're shareable, they'll join you. And if they're not, they won't. And you have to let that be law of attraction's job, not yours. In other words, your job to others is the same as your inner being's job to you. Your inner being never says, oh, you're discouraged. Let us come down here and talk with you about how you are discouraged. That never happens. In fact, the very fact that you can feel negative emotion is because your inner being is not joining you in that thought. So if your inner being never jumps off the high-flying disc for you, why are you jumping off of it for anybody else? And you're not doing them any favor, because when you get there, you're not helpful. You're not helpful, are you? You're scolding them, you're scowling, you're guilting them. If it were not for you and what you're doing, I would be a happy person. You say that in so many different ways. You guilt each other out. You rule by guilt as humans for the most part. Can you imagine the leverage and the power that you're going to have when you let these natural universal forces be the momentum of that which is your influence? Try it. You're really going to like it. Because it's not just the people you know. Esther said the other day to a friend, I've got this being by myself thing down really good. Because when I be by myself, I'm pretty good at choosing my disc. I'm pretty good at staying where I mean to stay. And the stranger thing, that's really working out well. Strangers are delightful with me, because it's just all the people I know that are giving me grief. And when you think about it, it's because strangers, you don't have any expectations. You don't have old pipes about strangers. You got a whole lot of old pipes about the people that are up close in your life. So the question is, when you co-create with someone, whose vibration is going to dominate? Whose vibration is going to dominate this co-creation? Well, who's ever got the most momentum going is going to dominate. And if you haven't been tending to your momentum, if you haven't been thinking about it, if you didn't get it started on purpose and perpetuate it on purpose and practice it, then you're likely to step into something that someone else is going to dominate. And then it becomes a whole conversation about behavior and action and right behavior and wrong behavior, instead of the powerful conversation about alignment and utilizing the energy that creates worlds to focus through your fingertips and through your lenses.
So when I have a desire to manifest something and I'm clear about it, it's very quick, the manifestations for me. So a couple weeks ago, I looked at the market and decided I wanted to list my house, and it was sold in 4 days. And now I'm in a spot where I either need to buy something else, which was my desire a year ago, to buy something bigger, and it's starting to manifest. But I actually have like a move day in like 30 days where I have to choose either to rent and sit and watch and find the house I love, or to manifest the house I love. And so a few moments ago, you were talking about guidance. And so I feel like often I can manifest when I'm clear, but I'm not clear-hearted about this. So how do I embrace guidance or relax into it?
There are a number of things that we want to say to you. First, we want to say, anytime you don't know what to do, you don't have momentum going. You don't have that high-flying disc momentum going. So anything you do is going to sort of turn out less good than you really want it to. When you introduced into this conversation the word manifestation, we wanted to back up from the word manifestation and just continue to have the conversation about how you feel. Because if you can spend some time focusing on how you feel, all of the manifestations will take care of themselves. But humans don't want to take the time to choose the disc. They want reality to happen, which makes them choose the disc. It's sort of like, give me something good to believe in and then I'll feel good. Show me something that'll make me feel good, and then I will feel good. And we have been saying in a lot of different ways over a lot of years, find something that feels good and then practice that vibration of what feels good, and then other things that match what feels good must come to you. Not very satisfying until you get the hang of this. And once you get the hang of it, you will feel invincible. You will feel like there isn't anything that you cannot just point in the direction of, and it will come right to you in the way that you want it to. And if it doesn't feel like that to you, then you've got more disc choosing to do. You've got more mornings of waking up and choosing the disc, more mornings of waking up and choosing the disc, more mornings of waking up and choosing the disc, more mornings of waking up and choosing the disc, more mornings of waking up and choosing the disc, until you don't have that question. More mornings of waking up and choosing the disc. More mornings of waking up and choosing the disc. What should I do? Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Well, what should I do? No, I mean about the house. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. No, Abraham, you don't understand. In 30 days, I'm not going to have a place to live. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Abraham, these are not satisfying answers. Certainly not worth the $195 I paid. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. But Abraham, you don't understand. There's something that I need to do. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. The doing will be inspired to you if you wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. But I can't stay on the disc very long because I'm worried that I'm not going to have a place to live. Then crash and burn, and wake up in the morning and choose the disc, and wake up in the morning and choose the disc. But it feels like I need to do something more hands-on. It seems like I should be able to do, I've been living this life for a long time, and I've practiced a lot of things. Those are clogged pipes. But Abraham, I haven't been living all this life not to know something. Those are clogged pipes. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. But what do you think I should do? It doesn't matter what we think you should do, because you can't hear what we think you should do, because you're not on the high-flying disc. And nothing that we would say would be meaningful to you. Well, just tell me where to go. Tell me what to do. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. 20 more minutes. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning and choose the disc. Wake up in the morning. Because when you do it, after a week of doing that, clarity starts to flow to you. A feeling of fluidity begins to happen. You begin rendezvousing. Ideas begin flowing. And you begin to understand, and this is what we really, really, really want you to understand, is that on your way to these satisfying culminations that you want to call the manifestation, you're going to have a manifestation that we call lightheartedness. You're going to have a manifestation that we call eagerness. You're going to have a manifestation that we call sure-footedness. You're going to have a manifestation that we call rendezvousing with someone delightful. You're going to have manifestations that we call absence of worry and presence of fun. You're going to have a lot of manifestations of people rendezvousing, ideas flowing, and in time, maybe not today, but in time, you're going to come to understand that those are the manifestations that make up the fabric and the details of your life. The big stuff comes, it will, but it's how you feel now, 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 that you want to gain control over. You have these dreams of beautiful houses and dream occupations and dream relationships. We know you do. You have these images and desires and goals for those things. And we delight in all of that you've created. But our true delight is the resonance of your joyful being on your way to that. It occurred to Esther the other day, and she wrote it in big letters in her book. I want to have fun on my way to that. I want to have fun on my way to that. And so she has this list of things that she wants, and now she's put it into the framework, I want to have fun on my way to that. And we say, now you're on to it, because what you want is fun. That's just the excuse to have the fun. Being on your way to that is the reason for the focus. Being on your way to that is the reason for choosing that disc. A house will come, but in relationship to that thought that rendezvoused with that thought, and that thought that rendezvoused with that thought, and that person that said that, and that timing of that, and the way that unfolded. Esther was on the telephone the other day talking to a friend. And they were talking about this high-flying disc. And they were talking about invincibility. And they were using every word that they could find about invincibility and passion and eagerness and good feeling and alignment and elation and love. They were talking about the beauty of the world and the value of physical existence and the deliciousness of knowing who we really are and the deliciousness of seeing the world through the eyes of Source. And they'd been beating that drum for 2 or 3 minutes. The conversation was early, and Esther was sitting on her deck in Del Mar, and 15 or 20, she couldn't count them, they move fast, hummingbirds came down all around her. And there's a statue of Solomon there in her garden, and the hummingbirds were just all around as if they were vortexually demonstrating the very beauty and wonder and perfection of this moment in time. And to co-create with something that unusual and that significant made Esther gasp. But before she could describe it to her friend, out over the ravine between her and the ocean, 200 or 300 or 400, again hard to count, blackbirds were swirling in the sky. It was as if they were flying in this big vortexual demonstration. And Esther couldn't even utter the words. She said, I can't count them and I can't describe them, but I've never seen anything like that. And then 6 or 8, again she couldn't count them, yellow canary looking birds, she still hasn't found them in her bird book, flew from one olive tree, buzzed her head, and into another olive tree. And all of this took place in about 35 seconds. A convergence of magnificence in nature, the likes of which she had never witnessed before, all in conscious awareness and direct response to the active conversation that she was experiencing in that moment. Now, things like that happen to you often, and you chalk them up as coincidences or as meaningful things that just come and go. But when you start dictating them, when you start finding the disc and staying there as long as you can, and finding the disc and finding the disc and finding the disc and finding the disc and finding the disc, then not just the natural things of nature that are already on the disc that will rendezvous with you easily when you find yourselves there, but the brilliant people of your world that are there already will rendezvous with you. The ideas in creation of inventions. We can't even begin to describe to you the things that you are going to experience this week as a result of your participation in this conversation. But we do promise you that when they happen, you will know for sure, 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 that they are coming in response to the new pipes that we just laid, you see. So what about living in a life where you feel like that mostly, and where the universe says to you, beloved one, do you like this? Beloved one, how about this? How about this? How about this idea? How can we stand on our heads to surprise and delight you now? So you're moving through that sort of a day because that's the way it started, and that's the momentum that you've got going, and you've been doing it for a while, so your expectation is keen, and now you are understanding, you are knowing the invincibility of your being. You know the laws of the universe are as you have heard them here. You've demonstrated that the laws of the universe are as we have demonstrated them here. You have witnessed the laws of the universe in demonstration in your own life experience. You are realizing consciously the response to whatever disc you're choosing. And then it doesn't matter what disc you're choosing or what disc you're on. When the demonstration comes, you own it. You don't resent it. You don't resist it. You acknowledge it. You smile. You say, well, that's a match.